Hey everybody, welcome to Mattman, your source for all things professional wrestling. I'm AJ Zare, and I'm joined by the president of the Sami Zayn Club, Rich Stamboli.
Oh, yeah. Ah, damn it. I didn't have it on.
Yeah, it didn't have it. Do it again. Do it again. There you go.
What's up, everybody?
You are the founding member of the Sami Zayn Club and the president, right?
I'm the founding member of the Sami Zayn Club for Men.
What do you guys do?
We talk about Sami Zayn, and we talk about dudes who look like Sami Zayn. So, like, Seth Rogen could look like Sami Zayn.
Oh man, that's a nice. Yeah, that's a nice thing to do. I had a wild week.
Mm-hmm.
I was hanging out with porn stars and former athletes. Oh,
I heard you gave Lawrence Taylor a hickey.
Lawrence Taylor gave me a kiss, and he told me I have beautiful eyebrows and kept touching me.
Oh, so good. So good.
Unfortunately, it wasn't Tory Black or Alexis Monroe. It was Lawrence Taylor and Dennis Rodman.
Oh.
Can I just show you the picture of me and the worm?
Yeah, can you?
I gotta just show you this. Me and the worm.
Can you punch up the one that Deacon made of you?
Oh, it's on my Twitter. How hysterical is that?
That's a great picture. Like I said this week several times, he looks like a scented candle.
He does look like, and he smells like one too. He smells delightful.
You sniffing on Dennis Rodman?
He gave me a nice big hug, and it felt like just dry bones.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Did you call him like a bag of bones?
No, I didn't call him a bag of bones. He was a very nice guy. And sober, by the way. Rodman was sober, yeah.
Cool.
LT, a lot of freaking fun. I asked him, I don't know if he can or cannot.
Okay.
So, but he was a lot of fun. Definitely not that.
This stuff?
Definitely not. I don't know. He was a lot of fun. Great guy. Otis Anderson from the New York Giants as well.
Nice.
Robert Horry from the Lakers.
Cool.
And Houston Rockets. He was there. Charles Oakley.
Oh, get out
Number
of here.
34, Charles Oakley. We were hanging out with. It was a surreal night.
You know, it would have been great if you set up a basketball hoop somewhere and had them try to slam dunk you.
I would have loved that. I would have been like, guys, you want to play basketball?
Just ball you up and then just
yeah, just throw me in the hoop. You know one thing though, I asked LT. I go, listen, I got a question for you. I go, best pure athlete you've ever worked with.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, simple. I said, I'm thinking, who's he gonna name?
Bam Bam Bigelow.
He names me Bam Bam
Absolutely.
Bigelow. He goes, I've never met a man that size and that athletic in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen anybody that size move the way that Bam Bam did.
Yeah.
He goes, a total professional. What a sweetheart. That was one of the best highlights of his career as an athlete.
He was like a cat.
Who? Bam Bam?
Bam Bam Bigelow.
He was. I did Too Sweet Rodman, which was really cool.
Did he know what you were doing?
Yeah.
He was like,
I said Too Sweet, brother, and he goes NWO.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Can you do it to me? I assume he did.
Yeah. Let's.
I'm
Sweet.
Rodman.
Okay. Too Sweet, Dennis.
Like this thing.
It was cool. And then a couple. I think my wife was the hit of the party.
Uh-huh.
LT really liked my wife.
Oh boy! Oh no!
Yeah. It was a lot of fun, and it was for a great cause. It was the grand opening, obviously, of Sapphire Times Square, but it was also for the Sapphire Foundation for prostate cancer. It's a foundation that our managing partner, Peter Feinstein, founded. So all these guys came in to support the cause. It was awesome. It was a big deal in Times Square. Paparazzo everywhere. Everywhere. When Dennis came in, dude, it was really nuts.
Yeah.
When Dennis walked in. Yeah, I've never seen anything like that.
I'm sure.
But really cool.
He's like 9 feet tall.
He's really like 9 feet. You know what's crazy? Robert Horry is probably taller than him.
You're also not a small
but
guy.
I'm 5'9.5". Like I'm not like a tiny. He made me minuscule.
Yeah, that picture makes it look like you're like 2 feet tall.
But dude, he was not even the tallest guy.
Who's the tallest guy?
Robert Horry. He's like 6'11".
Oh, wow.
He's a 7-foot guy. He didn't even seem that tall because he's kind of like he's like a normal.
He's proportionate.
Yeah, he's like a normal guy. But Rodman is like growing from the earth.
He's like an ancient alien.
He is like an ancient alien. The Anunnaki have arrived in the form of Dennis Rodman.
My man, the Anunnaki. That's what he was dressed like. He was straight up dressed like an Anunnaki. He's like, should I let the secret out today? All right, I'll put the Anunnaki clothes on today.
The dude was dressed like the. Somebody said he looked like Muammar Gaddafi came back, which was really accurate. That somebody was my wife.
Uh-huh.
But the fact that he was just like an Anunnaki makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Suncast is saying, I'm sure. Dude, I am shrinking, though, from my back issues.
This is the one time this guy jumps into the chat room.
Suncast just
like, yo, you're short.
So let's talk about wrestling. I did catch up on a lot of wrestling the last 2 days.
Yeah.
Let's go straight into the big story here.
The big story.
NXT was rumored to be going to Fox, FS1.
Yeah.
A friend of mine is pretty high up there at Fox Sports, and he confirmed to me that the talks were happening. This was happening. They were going back and forth as far as time slot, hours on NXT, and all that stuff. I don't know at what point this kind of fell apart. I don't even think it fell apart. I think USA Network realized that there's another WWE asset that they could put on TV to keep their ratings afloat. Because remember, SmackDown and Raw still do very high numbers for USA Network. Even though the ratings are 25% down or 10% year over year down, whatever it is, they still hold up the ratings since, Suits isn't doing well or it ended, whatever it was.
And
La Femme Nikita's off the air.
There's a lot of Suits fans out there.
You know what? I've watched it. Not a bad show.
That's every time.
Not a terrible show.
I love talking to people about TV. I love TV. And also because of my career and stuff, I meet a lot of actors and actresses. I'm always like, oh, what shows do you like on TV? Suits ends up being in the conversation more often than not. And I'm like, really? Suits? Do you watch pro wrestling? What's that?
Yuck.
But I'll watch Suits. Oh, you mean like John Cena and Hulk Hogan?
My wife watches it. A lot of her friends watch it. So, and there's only so many times you could air Crisley.
Well, Crisley might be going away for a while.
Crisley's in trouble. Yeah, with that whole sex tape about his daughter.
That and then
they bought and then they used to blackmail her allegedly,
and then possibly tax evasion.
Allegedly tax evasion. A lot of alleged
friggin' guy
things happening here.
Ugh.
Can you do your best, Crisley?
Hi, mate. Hi, Andrew. Let's talk about wrestling.
You think he likes wrestling?
Oh, absolutely. He's definitely from the South, and he's probably
how would he grapple?
Like this. I imagine him to be the biggest Chief J Strongbow fan in the world for some reason.
He loves Chief J Strongbow.
I love me some Chief J Strongbow.
He's such a weird guy.
My kids look like Walton Goggins.
He's such a weird dude.
Mm-hmm.
So the ratings for the network are kind of flat right now for USA. They're just sitting there. They like to gloat about being a number 1 or the number 2 position network. And TNT, for example, is on their tail. TNT could beat them. It's neck and neck. If you take the sports aspect out and you keep the drama, it's very close. And TNT's doing that with reruns.
Isn't that TNT's byline? We do drama or some shit like that?
We do drama.
We do drama.
We do drama. So they realize that there's another WWE asset that has a nice following, has a niche. And they got very interested.
Yeah, let's do it.
And they offered more in terms of ability to air and not get lost on the USA Network. So the other thing is, it will be somewhat embarrassing if NXT gets blown out the water by AEW. If they're going neck and neck.
Okay.
It's not bad if let's give the fictional number of 1 million. Okay, for AEW. I don't think they're going to do a million week over week. I really don't believe that. I think the number will sit around 700,000, 750. That's a very conservative and middle of the road number that I'm going to go with for AEW viewership.
Okay.
But let's say it's a million.
Sure.
Let's say AEW does a million without WWE.
Okay.
Let's say now NXT's on FS1, head to head, 8 to 10, 8 to 10.
Got it.
What are you going to do if they're only doing 300,000 viewers? Because FS1 does not pull high ratings.
Right, yeah.
We saw that with UFC on FS1. We've seen it with other things on FS1. They don't do tremendous numbers. How do you think Vince is going to react if, their developmental product that's so hot right now, that's bringing, 10, 14,000, I'm saying, anywhere from 10 to 14 for these special NXT takeovers.
Yeah.
What are you going to do if they only draw 200,000 people or 400,000 people?
Yeah, it's very interesting because this is the potential for NXT to be on USA is tremendous, right? But at the same time, like, how do you perceive it being advertised? You know, like, do you think people are gonna care? Do you think it's good for who are the people who have subscribed to the network? Are those P1s or P2s?
The people, it's a mixed bag for WWE Network, because it's a lot of disenfranchised viewers that still are there. I don't think you have to be a P1 to have the WWE Network. I know people that have the WWE Network that are not tremendous wrestling fans. I'll give you an example.
Okay,
Our friend Bob.
Oh,
he has the WWE Network.
Yeah.
He watches pay-per-views. He got into it after G1. He got really into wrestling, which is, by the way, can I just tell you, that is still one of my favorite. I love taking people that are not wrestling fans to wrestling events. So I took him to Laboom. He's not a spring chicken. He's in his mid-50s. This guy, he's a huge baseball fan, but he watched wrestling when he was younger. I took him to Laboom.
Big Chief Jay Strongbow fan.
Huge Chief Jay Strongbow. Loved it. Okay, loved. He goes, this is actually really cool. I've never been in a small building like this and so close to it.
Yeah.
He got really into it. So he wanted to go to the Garden to see Ring of Honor in New Japan.
He wanted to go see Okada.
He just wanted to go see Okada. He got really, and he got into it. He really enjoyed it. So he got WWE Network and he watches the pay-per-views. He's not a P1 or a P2. He's like a P3 that happened to like it.
Okay.
Our friend Dara, the skinny pig, she has WWE Network. So those are people.
If people don't know that's her like handle, it's an awful thing to call a person.
Yeah, she's a food blogger, well-known Instagrammer, skinny pig. So here's a good example of this. NXT aired December 13th, 2017 on the USA Network. I want you to guess what their rating was. It was a special that they aired. I believe this was a already existing NXT show that went on.
I'm going to say it did a 1.2.
You think it did a 1.2?
Yeah.
1.2 million viewers.
Okay.
Did 841,000.
That was close.
Which, to be honest, with very little promotion, this was for WWE Week on the USA Network. Yes. Do you remember that? That is very strong. With no build, nothing special, no promotion behind it really. Just to put him on a Wednesday night time slot, not bad.
Yeah, that's a good number.
I don't know. I don't know who this is a bad thing for. Is this bad for? Let me ask you this.
Shoot.
Who do you think? Who does this hurt? NXT going to the USA Network 8 to 10 every Wednesday. From what I've heard, not every week will be live. They're working that out. Some weeks live, some weeks not.
I think this is gonna hurt WWE.
You think so?
Yeah, just because I think this is going to be a weird thing. I think conceptually it's too yellow and too many Are
you saying as far as its color for marketing?
Yeah, and it's too many letters. I feel like if you're like WWE, NXT, USA, you're it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. And I think people will also say, why should I tune in if I have the network? I could just watch this.
We don't know what's going to happen with this. We don't know if the network will only get. This kind of makes sense. If NXT becomes its own brand, which this is what it's turning into. It's no longer developmental if you're on if you're on USA. Right. This whole it has not really been a developmental territory, but they still have those Florida loops.
It is.
Take the Florida loop.
The TV stuff isn't.
The TV stuff is not.
Right.
But the loop stuff is. Take NXT 1 hour TV from Full Sail.
Boom.
And develop your second-rate NXT talents.
Okay.
Now, let me rephrase that.
Right.
Guys like Keith Lee that are not getting TV time.
Exactly.
Which now will probably with 2 hours. But there's a lot of other guys that are, young. They're fresh.
Babatunde.
Okay, Babatunde. Put Babatunde on there.
Yeah. Big
and
dude.
have him on that 1 hour show.
Yeah.
And move NXT and do your 2 hour show touring.
Right.
And you're good.
Yeah.
USA will probably pick up the slack on the expenses of this because touring a third brand and a fourth brand is tremendous. It's a lot.
I also do think one of the big factors in them doing well is honestly Adam Cole. Keep Adam Cole on top.
Well, now you're going to have to keep a lot of these guys on top, and you're going to see a lot of WWE guys head on over.
I think that's the other thing. Yeah.
This was interesting. Somebody said, will this turn into WWE CW? Because if the ratings start pivoting down a little bit? Will they start sending guys over there? Like, is Roman Reigns going to have a match on NXT on Wednesday? I'm willing to bet.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet that's going to start happening.
Absolutely. You're going to see, like...
Finn Balor returns to NXT.
Oh, 100%.
You're going to see Ricochet back at NXT. You're going to see all this happen.
Seth Rollins, first NXT champion.
I don't know how that would work. But you know what would be cool? First time ever, champion versus champion. On NXT TV, you have the WWE champion going one-on-one with the NXT champion. That's a really cool concept that I would love to see, a Seth Rollins and Adam Cole match,
or
Seth
triple
Rollins
threat.
or whatever.
Yeah.
You could do something here. The possibility is endless, but they have to be very careful what they do to NXT, because you don't want that core that watches NXT.
Yeah.
They are looking for a reason to exit.
Would you lose your shit in a good way or bad way if they turn around, they do 2 weeks of NXT on USA, and then they're like, we're just going to change the name to ECW?
Oh, my God. Undertaker makes his NXT debut.
Oh,
ratings
so good.
go. Okay, I'm telling you right now, I'm going to tell you this. And you guys are going to think that I'm some sort of Nostradamus type person. Ratings drop. NXT starts off strong at about 900,000, a million viewers. The first week does 1.2 million. Starts dropping. You're in the middle of the dead of the summer. NXT's bringing in only 430,000 people. And all of a sudden, they do a promo. The Undertaker makes his NXT debut.
Yeah.
And Undertaker does his entrance, and he choke slams somebody, and he leaves, and the ratings pop 300,000 people. And all of a sudden now, they're going to start putting all these guys down there. And then you're going to have, Titus O'Neil challenging for the NXT title.
Yeah, I think and also, like, you're going to have Triple H showing up a lot, too, I think.
Hunter will show up. Hunter will have his first NXT match.
Versus Adam Cole?
Versus Adam Cole.
I have no problem with any of this, by the way. Like,
my problem is they gotta be careful. Now, remember, NXT is very it's a vacuum for Hunter's guys.
Yeah.
You could bet all the money in the world that Kevin Dunn's going to be involved in this now.
Oh, yeah. TV? Absolutely.
TV. You're going to have Vince involved in this.
Well, maybe not so much Vince, because he's got that football to worry about.
He has a football to worry about. So, what do you think they'll do on USA? You think they'll do 1 million?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
You think this is going to hurt AEW numbers?
No.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
You think there are 3 million fans that'll watch wrestling? Two different brands?
I think so.
I don't know.
You have digital, you have DVR, you have so many platforms to watch this stuff on.
Digital doesn't matter. I'm saying
on the
at the moment.
I think AEW fans at this point are mostly conditioned to not care about anything else, because they have that weird built-in fan base where it's like those fans. I've talked to several fans who are like this, who just care about the elite.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That is a very interesting group that we barely talk about.
But it's true. It's 100%.
It's very true.
There's a lot of those dudes out there. We meet them every so often that are just like, I just like watching the Young Bucks, and that's it. I just like Kenny Omega, and that's it. And I think that's just from the YouTube show. Like, I love whatever these guys do, and I'll follow them. I could care less about AAA. I could care less about CMLL. I can care less about WWE. There's a lot of people like that, because like these dudes show up in AAA, right?
Yeah.
So
they have a partnership with them.
So I don't like, these fans also just don't care. If it's not the Bucks and the Elite doing their own thing, even tangentially, I don't think they care.
Yeah. This also is a great opportunity for that real NXT war, NXT invasion. It's an invasion.
Oh, no.
You know how I love invasions.
EC3 is going to go back there.
Dude, you know what? Great opportunity for the EC3 to go down there, because he's a phenomenal guy to have.
No way, Jose.
Send these guys back.
The guys that they brought up too soon?
The guys the too soon guys.
Apollo? Is Apollo a too soon guy?
Apollo is a too soon guy.
Okay.
That should become a t-shirt.
Too soon
Hashtag
guy.
too soon.
Yeah.
These guys, send them down. You got to fill 2 hours of NXT programming a week.
Yeah.
Everybody praises NXT TV and how great it is, because it's a 1 hour show. It's less than an hour. The reality is, only 2 out of that 4 show block is pretty good.
Okay.
Everything else is just filler. They're not great.
Okay.
I've been watching more NXT over the last 2 months because I feel like I kind of fell out of it a little bit. It just didn't work on my schedule, and I'm like, this is not great every week.
But it was never like
intended on being blockbuster TV. It was for you to get the takeovers of the show. Yeah. But now you're on TV every week.
Has to be great.
Has to be great.
I always even like years and years ago, I feel like the NXT formula is you get 2 really good bits, and then the rest is working out the kinks.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And usually the ends of the episodes are really, really phenomenal because it's old school, like Southern storytelling almost of like what's going to happen next week. And William Regal shows up.
You know what? The best authority figure in wrestling right now, William Regal.
Oh, absolutely.
Doesn't give a shit. Doesn't put himself over. He's great. So this is a tremendous story. Way bigger. The shift from FS1 is fascinating.
Yeah.
This is a very big story. I'm starting to believe this Fox deal is not going to go well for WWE.
Interesting.
Long term.
Why?
I think WWE and USA have been in beds for so long. The fact that they couldn't afford SmackDown, because they gave so much money in rights fees to
Fox,
to Raw, that they kind of priced themselves out for SmackDown. And Fox scooped in with this. I think this is an experiment. I think it's going to not go as smoothly as they anticipate because Fox likes to control their properties.
Right.
Much like any other network.
Sure. Yeah.
You're not going to get this deal that, with the USA Network and NBC. Remember, you're dealing with NBC.
Yeah.
NBC has allowed them to do whatever they want for so long because they've been an institution on the product. They're wrestling. They're there. They bring in ratings. Okay, just let them do whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
There's not too much of guidance until now. Now you're starting to see some guidance. Fox is going to be a little bit more aggressive with how they want things shot, how they want things promoted.
Yeah.
They're going to want to cross-promote everything. They're going to have it's going to be a very different experience. These are two very different properties and how they manage their sports.
The rumors that we keep hearing are also like once SmackDown moves to Fox, it's gonna be something that we didn't expect visually.
Yeah, so the story is that they're bringing in different cameras and WWE's been testing different cameras. I've known this for a while.
Yeah.
I know one of the guys on the production team. I was told, and I don't know. Again, this could have changed since the last report. I was told that those cameras are not necessarily for shooting the action. It's more for the documentary stuff that they're going to be doing, but that's going to be injected within the programming. So they're going to have more theatrical based promos,
like Lucha Underground.
Somewhat like that. But it's not going to be like someone's like, "What are you going to do? Shooting 24 frames a second?" I was like, "No, they're not. It's going to be exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But they're going to have these backstage moments that's going to be more theatrical. They're going to treat it a little bit differently, which is fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But they're going to be using it for in-ring spots also for other things that they're going to be doing.
I think that's very interesting, like how each show is going to have its own specific look, which is kind of cool. I want to see where this goes. I want to see what happens with the Fox. I do agree with you where I do get like this sense of like foreboding with this move, right? And that it's all going to fall apart. You want to talk about SummerSlam?
No, I'm thinking about what you were saying. I think you're right. No, I was because I was told something I can't mention it.
Okay.
But I think you're right. But listen, we got 2.5 more months.
Yeah.
They also want to get the jump on AEW, and they want NXT on TV by the end of September. So the date that I'm looking at right now is the 25th
of September.
Yes.
You know what's really interesting? It's like you can interpret this as almost psychological warfare, where it's like, we don't even think enough of you to put Raw or SmackDown against you. Deal with our NXT guys.
Yeah. But it's also smart because if they lose, they're like, well, they're not losing to us.
Right.
Yeah, they're losing to a bunch of nobodies. You know, that's what they're gonna argue.
I'm really looking forward to the AEW debut too, because it seems like they're still on that upward trajectory of selling out arenas for their weekly show, which is awesome. I think they just sold out two or three more spots.
2 more spots. They
Right.
sold out the next. So they've sold out every TV taping. They've sold out 4 TV shows. Now, here's the thing. The Boston and Philly show that they sold out,
Yeah,
smaller buildings. One's like a 4,000, 5,000 seater.
Mhm.
The other one
but
is
that's good 'cause they're not
7,000.
taping off areas.
Of course, that's smart. They could have probably done, a bigger building, but that's good. They're going with a really big building for the DC show, for their first show, and they're going to smaller buildings. Next week, they're announcing 2 more. I'm willing to bet, and it's Kenny's pick
Okay,
of where they go, so I'm willing maybe Canada.
That's
Maybe they're
cool.
going to do Toronto,
that's cool.
which is good.
Winnipeg,
But they're saving New York, man,
yeah,
because where are they going to go in New York? This is the thing.
Nassau Coliseum,
Can they book? Yeah, maybe they could book the Nassau Coliseum, which is a terrible building.
the Hammerstein Ballroom.
Too small. They could do that, but that's small.
The theater at Madison Square
The
Garden.
theater.
I think that's a great venue.
terrible venue for TV.
Okay.
Bad venue for TV. AAA, as I mentioned, AAA announced that they were doing the Garden.
Right.
Okay, this was a big deal. I was told by MSG people specifically, I don't think they're going to be able to do this. We have it in the plans that they'll go to the smaller building,
Really?
the Hulu Theater,
Interesting.
and that is exactly what happened. They couldn't sell a freaking ticket. Here's the thing: AAA's not on TV in New York.
Right.
You're in a Hispanic market,
Yeah.
but it's all different types.
Mhm.
It's not like a Mexican market,
Right.
like Texas, Arizona.
Mhm.
Huge Mexican population that's familiar with the product.
Mhm.
Not so much in New York.
Are you going to talk about a wall being built?
I'm going to talk about a wall being
Oh
built.
no.
You know what I mean? Like, how familiar is the Dominican population in New York familiar with AAA, or the Puerto Rican population familiar
It's a
with
Latino
AAA?
market.
It's a Latino market. It's not a primary Mexican audience. So they did not do well in selling these tickets. So they're going to the Hulu Theater. They were really hoping. The other thing is they're having some work visa issues bringing in the guys. So now it's going to be heavily American based also. Just a mess. It's not a great idea.
I think it's interesting also that they didn't tack on the AEW guys to the show.
I think maybe that was the plan, and AEW's like, we're not going to help you sell the Garden. We're going to sell it ourselves when we run it.
Interesting.
AEW will be running the Garden. That's going to be a moment for them. It's not going to be for TV. It's going to be a pay-per-view to run Madison Square Garden, which I'm predicting by the end of the year.
Okay.
But when they come to the New York market, where do they run? They don't really have to. They can't do Barclays.
Terminal 5.
Yuck for TV.
Yeah. I think they can make something out of Terminal 5.
That's one of the worst venues for them.
Why?
Ring of Honor hated doing that. Logistically, it's a nightmare. People complain all the time.
Where did we see Ring of Honor that time?
Terminal 5.
Was it Terminal 5?
Yeah, we had great seats because we
were on the balcony.
We were on the balcony overlooking the ring. So New York really doesn't have the buildings for them. They could do. I'm trying to think, like, what's a 5,000 seater in the New York market? Not really. We don't really have it.
Big buildings. What are the big buildings?
Big buildings?
Irving Plaza? No. If
No.
you did a show at like,
listen, if we had it,
a
people would be
venue.
running it. People would be running it.
Yeah.
We just don't have it. We have the Garden. We have Brooklyn. We're gonna have that new one where the Islanders are gonna play in Belmont.
The
and we have
Elks
Nassau
Lodge.
Coliseum. Elks Lodge.
The Elks Lodge.
Terrible. So they're probably gonna hold off on New York, but I'm curious to see where they go. But they're selling these things out, man.
Yeah. Good for them.
Not bad. 4,000, 6,000, 4,000, 6,000. That's a smart way to do this.
Good for them, man. And they're doing, I think the AEW guys are doing it right. I really enjoy the weekly shows, the road.
You like those, yeah.
And I like the documentary style stuff with the promos. And, I still watch Being the Elite, but they're doing pretty much like everything right at this point. And I hope that momentum carries them to where they need to be.
Yeah.
Because I do think wrestling fans are fickle. And I feel like at this point, it takes a very little thing to turn somebody off.
It's gonna happen, dude. Right now, they're in the honeymoon stage.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen when people start going to these buildings? They're like, security was too aggressive with me.
Right.
I needed my all-inclusive sensory room, and they told me to F off.
Right.
These things are gonna come into play when you're dealing with something on a weekly schedule.
More people. Also,
Wait,
like,
yeah.
How many times do we'll watch something and people will be like, "Yo, that's it. I'm canceling the network." It hasn't gotten to that point yet with AEW, but I feel like that kind of mentality will definitely start showing
It's gonna be one
up.
angle they're gonna do, and it's gonna upset people. And listen, dude, that's we're in this cancel culture. This is terrible cancel culture mentality now, where everything is terrible, everything's bad, and you automatically jump to cancel your subscription. So we'll see what happens.
Coney Island Amphitheater seats 5,000 people.
Nobody wants to go to Coney Island.
Yeah, that is true.
It's gross.
I do not. I offered my mother-in-law always offers us tickets to go see the Cyclones, the Brooklyn Cyclones in Coney Island, and I'm always like, oof, hard pass. Only because like it takes so long to get there.
To go to Coney Island.
And you know what? I don't feel like stepping on syringes.
Remember Coney Island and how it used to be.
All right, SummerSlam.
Yeah.
SummerSlam was fun. We did a little watch along. I thought that was a lot of fun. My feed was from 1998.
Oh my God! What happened to your internet that night?
I don't know, man. My internet. I blame you. I still blame you for my internet.
I'm sucking it all up.
You sucked up.
I do want to say
sucked
though,
up my internet.
the overall interest in social media, online interaction and viewership was abysmal.
Yeah.
This weekend, a
lot of people are away.
Our view, and I was like, you know what? Maybe our viewership is dropping. I did the numbers. Our viewership is up year over year.
Yeah, baby.
25%. No problem there.
We went from 10 viewers to 12 viewers.
To 12 viewers, and that's how you boost it. But it generally, what it was, it's the weekend that they put it on. It was a week too early. People were still traveling. It was a transition week. Men becoming women, women becoming men.
Oh boy.
No, we're talking about traveling. People were going back and forth. So they had no interest in sitting there and watching this on a Saturday and Sunday.
Right, exactly. Even though both shows were, I really enjoyed SummerSlam, to be honest with you. I thought it was a lot of fun. I partied a little too hard. I had to be up at like 5:30.
When on SummerSlam?
Yeah, Sunday night. I was having such a great time. Do you have the Meltzer ratings for this? I'm very curious.
Yes.
Okay.
Did he do SummerSlam? Somebody get me this.
Somebody get me. Somebody make it happen. Chop chop.
I have the Observer. I actually printed it out this week.
Oh, what a nerd!
Oh my! I know. I had to mail it to somebody.
What an effing nerd!
I had to mail it to someone.
I need to look at my notes.
Do you know when you print out the Observer, it's 79 pages.
Really?
Every week.
Wow. Yeah. That's old school, and it's all single space,
tiny font, no spaces,
size 8 font,
font, and everything is a run-on.
So we had Drew Gulak defeating Oney Lorcan, 8-minute match. That was fun. I like Oney Lorcan a lot. Buddy Murphy beating Apollo Crews by disqualification.
Dude, his match on SmackDown.
Buddy Murphy is awesome. Everything he says about himself in promos is true. That guy's been awesome since his NXT team up with the other guy. I forgot the other guy's name.
Buddy Murphy, and what was the other one?
It was Buddy and something.
Buddy and Chuck.
Buddy and Mackenzie.
Mackenzie.
Yeah. Mackenzie Johnson. That was his old tag team guy. Great talent. Alexa and Nikki beat the Iconics, retained the belt, 6-minute match. Really nothing to write home about. Becky Lynch beat Natalya. I really just zoned out for this match.
Becky and Natty?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Next match, we also did a. Remember, you got to send a couple of people some stuff this week. I don't know if you sent it out yet.
I have them in boxes, and they are going to go out. Yeah.
The Goldberg-Dolph Ziggler match, we were taking bets on the watch along about how long the match will last. It lasted 1 minute and 50 seconds, with Ziggler yelling at Goldberg.
Perfect.
You're
below me.
Spear me again.
Yeah, and then he just kept coming back and killing
I don't know what he kept saying.
Okay, I have the rating. So let me. Which one did you? You did Gulak and Lorcan, right?
I'm gonna say 3.
It's 2 1/4.
Okay. Buddy and Apollo, I'm gonna say 2.
2 point. Okay, hold on. 2.2 1/4, and then we got 1 1/4 for Buddy Murphy and Apollo.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me just get this again.
One of those days you can't read.
I'm looking at the totally wrong thing. 2.75 for Drew and Oni Lorcan.
Uh-huh.
Buddy Murphy, 1.75.
Oof.
Okay.
Lexa and Nikki versus the Iconics.
1 star.
Oh, man. Becky and Natty, I'm going to say 2.6.
3 3.25.
Okay. Goldberg Dolph, 1.
3 stars.
Oh, my God.
I loved it, dude. It was great. I loved it. They told a good story.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. AJ beat Ricochet
in 12 minutes. 12:54, 3 stars.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I would have given it a little more. Bailey beat Ember Moon.
1.75.
Wow. KO and Shane 3.2.
2.
Really?
2.
I really enjoyed that match. Charlotte beat Trish. I'm going to give it a 3.
3.25.
Kofi versus Randy. I'm going to say 2.
2.5.
Fiend versus Balor. I'm going to say 3.5.
2.
Wow. And Rollins beat Brock. I'm going to say 1.6.
4.25.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting.
Yeah.
They did tell a good story, but I'm like over Brock, man. Wesley Blake was Buddy Murphy's.
Wesley Blake and Murphy. Yeah, there you go.
Was the Buddy Murphy tag
team
partner.
It was. I mean, I actually enjoyed SummerSlam this year.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel, and it ended early.
Yes, it did end very early.
That's it. That's the most. I cap out at 10:30. Not a great showing of wrestling, but it was entertaining and I enjoyed it, so it was fun. The crowd was into it, so they had a good time. I don't know, man. It was fine. I have nothing against the show, and NXT was fine too. I know a lot of people were freaking out over the Mia Yim and Shayna Baszler rating.
Yeah,
Dave gave it I did not think it was a good match.
Yeah, it was all right.
It was not good.
What did he give him?
Low. It was
0.2.
I gotta find the score.
0.3.
0.3.
Guys, you don't know this, but Dave Meltzer, really thick Irish accent.
Dave Meltzer, yeah, heavy Irish.
Heavy Irish accent. I'm going to Japan.
He did give a lot of stars for the G1.
The highlight, of course he did. The highlight, I think, of the weekend was definitely Bray Wyatt.
The highlight, yeah.
No, like Bray Wyatt, just everything.
Great entrance. Huh?
All of it. His own head as a lantern, fantastic.
I got some attendance records also for this week. Toronto Raw did 8,500 in attendance. Toronto SmackDown did 7,000.
Mm-hmm.
So those were the numbers for this week's TV. You know, AEW smart to run those 4,000, 5,000 buildings because you're going to fill those buildings up and it's going to sound tremendous.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Kota Ibushi?
Let's talk about Ibushi.
Kota Ibushi won the G1 this year.
He won the G1.
He looks like $1 million effing dollars.
He has a lifetime contract apparently, right?
He's the guy.
You think he's the guy for them?
He's the guy. He has to beat Okada at Wrestle Kingdom. Because Okada can be the guy for the next 15 years, but I think you need your Kota Ibushi and your Jay White
moment
in there. You know, it's definitely Kota's moment. That dude, he's worked so hard in the past year.
What did you think of Shibata?
Oh my God, that's the big news that came out of this.
Shibata came and did stuff in the ring, like they were protecting him, they were saving his head, they didn't go anywhere near his head.
Well, people thought it was going to be a throwaway because it was a 3-on-3.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
and like usually, if you guys have ever watched any New Japan show, any big show will have an undercard that is filled with trios matches, tag matches, a rumble. Just stuff that's like, for the most part, inconsequential, right?
Yeah.
This is like a showcase for the guys. So you had Kenta, Shibata, Ishii versus...
Not Shibata.
Yeah, he was in the corner.
He was in the... No, he came out.
Yeah.
No, he ran out. Shibata was in the back.
Upset with Kenta.
Yes.
Starts beating on Kenta.
And
then...
Because Kenta turned and joined the Bullet Club. That was the whole...
And then Shibata takes a beating from the Bullet Club.
Yes, and they sit on him.
New member of the Bullet Club, Kenta. Very, very excited about this.
You know what? Whenever they bring a Japanese guy in the Bullet Club, I'm like, it's kind of defeating the purpose of it.
I think this works.
I think this works tremendously.
Because he was a Noah guy.
Yeah, he was a Noah guy. He was an outsider. He was in WWE, for a while. He was in NXT for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And he's bitter and he's angry.
Yep.
Love that. Also, Edge.
Oh my God!
I heard some stuff about this. They are not. The door is not closed on this possible one-off match for Edge.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Goldberg.
No.
just colliding in spears and
No.
really hurting themselves.
No. I saw a funny comment about Edge's spear compared to Goldberg's, where somebody said Goldberg looks like he hits you super hard. With Edge's spear, it looks like he's just throwing grapes at you.
That's hysterical.
Like it's so smooth. I don't know, man. I always liked Edge's spear.
I thought the fact that Edge did a spear, says a lot. Edge did do, I think it was on his podcast, he was talking about how his neck is healthy. He could still go, he says.
That it's a different situation now.
It's a very different situation now, and listen, he had spinal stenosis. I don't know how that goes away.
Right.
But that is a very serious issue to have. And the way that they retired him so quickly says a lot. How he just disappeared.
Yeah. Oh,
He's gone.
Yeah.
So, that is another nice what if. Like, what if he did not get injured?
That's a good one.
He didn't have spinal stenosis, like where he would have fallen in the roster today.
Ooh. That's a good... You know what you would have gotten? You would have gotten a lot of Shield versus Edge.
You would have gotten Shield versus Edge. Well, Edge was on the other side, remember?
Yeah, but still,
And he retired when? 2011?
Yeah, I think you would have gotten a lot of Edge Daniel Bryan, some Edge CM Punk, Edge Shield, Edge Wyatt family. You would have gotten like all that stuff. You know?
Remember, 2011
Edge Rusev
is pre-Pipe Bomb. He retired in April.
Okay.
Pipe Bomb was the boom started in the summer.
Yeah.
Where would he have fallen? Shield stuff was happening. Oh, man. That would have been a very interesting couple of years.
That would have been awesome. But if this guy made a comeback, who would you like to see him wrestle?
Daniel Bryan.
Really?
Yeah. I kind of want to see that. Who would you put
about that too?
Edge versus Roman?
Edge versus Roman, but I feel like you would need Edge to have that like baby face pop, right? So who's the big bad?
Who's the big bad?
Shane? Bray Wyatt?
I don't know. Edge is fascinating to me. I don't know how he would have transitioned in this new him and Styles.
Oh yeah.
See, Edge is interesting. Like his in-ring, his promo, his character. Like he's a guy that should have never been a main event guy in the era that he came up. In the era that he came up, like if you think about it, he was always in that upper mid card, and then he just took the ball and ran with it.
I think he made the most of the opportunity and cemented himself, right? But like his stuff was always entertaining.
I'm just trying to figure out who he would be in there with.
He's
a guy that doesn't really fit in right now.
You think so?
Yeah, I can't think of a place to put him in. You're like, holy crap, Edge versus so and so.
Triple H.
Edge and Hunter. I mean, it doesn't really do much for me.
Really?
Just a match.
Okay.
If I don't see Hunter in a match again for a while, I'm okay with it.
Edge and Seth.
Seth, that's a cool match. I'm into that.
I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
But you also like, it would be a lot of fun also if Edge came back as a heel. If he did come back from one last match.
It's hard to do that. You're always gonna get that babyface pop.
Edge, Kurt Angle.
Edge and Angle.
Yeah.
Ugh, yuck.
Edge shows up at the Impact Zone.
Yuck.
Edge,
so we'll
Edge
see
shows
what
up at
happens.
AEW.
Listen, maybe.
Spear.
Maybe. Listen, he made a point and said WWE doesn't want me to wrestle, but I it's a very different situation right now. I could still go.
Would you lose your mind if end of the pay-per-view, end of All Out, Hangman's about to get the pin on Jericho. Hangman's about to get the pin on Jericho, win the AEW title. Out comes Edge, spears the crap out of Hangman,
and costs him the
match.
Dude, that would be awesome. It would be. What would you call Edge on if he left?
Ed GE.
No. If he left, what would you call him? What would his impact name be?
Adam.
Edge. The very end.
Adam the Edge.
The very end.
Ledge.
Yeah.
Guys, give us your questions.
Yeah, give us your questions. So SummerSlam was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We spoke about Edge. We spoke about. What am I missing, MG Geek? Message me. Tell me what I missed.
He's gonna send you a wiener picture.
He is gonna send me a wiener picture.
Well, SmackDown and Raw were actually very good.
SmackDown was very good. Raw was good. I enjoyed all of them. I can't. They're holding on to those ratings, though. You know what I mean? Like, since Paul's taken over, you could see the difference in the TV a little bit.
Yeah.
And he's getting more and more. You're realizing, like, okay, this is a Heyman. This is a Heyman move. This is a Heyman move.
Yeah, absolutely. How do you feel about Randy Orton and Kofi?
Oh, the match?
Like it's. I mean, like the
ongoing that ongoing thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to lead to Orton beating him just in time for USA, and he becomes a champion, and he goes there. They're also setting up that Brock Lesnar would go to SmackDown.
Yes, I think that's going to be the thing.
You know what? Here's the thing, though. I think for Brock, this is refreshing because who has he been wrestling this whole time? I mean, it's always been like Seth and you know, Roman and Undertaker. That's all I could think.
Right.
And Cena. Right? Like, if I were to tell you, like, just quick, who's his feud's been with?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty much it. If he goes to SmackDown, who's he going to feud with?
Everybody. Roman.
Roman. Daniel Bryan?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious to see who they put him up against on the SmackDown side. He's already done that, but we need a program. He needs to get that title. So him and Randy, he gets that WWE title. Then you have somebody really beat him.
Two things that I really enjoyed about Raw. Bobby Roode.
Okay.
Bobby Roode getting the win and getting a nice pop.
Yeah, okay.
And them re-pushing him, I guess.
Yeah.
And the return of Sasha Banks.
The return of Sasha Banks, yeah. So Sasha came back and went to hug Natty because it was the anniversary of Jim the Anvil Neidhart's passing away.
Yeah.
And she ambushed her, ripped off her pink wig to unveil a blue wig.
Blue, yeah.
And proceeded to beat the shit out of her.
Good moment, good moment.
Yeah, so I guess we are now, that's going to be the next move, and she's back, so anticipate her and Becky.
I think it's going to be a good feud.
It's interesting how the SmackDown title has kind of blah.
Yeah.
You know, since Charlotte doesn't have it, with Bayley having that title.
Right.
And they're keeping Charlotte away from that title picture for some reason.
Because she's got 9 championships already?
Oh, my God. She has it's like, she's going to be like a 20-time women's world heavyweight champion. I mean, that's what's going to happen. But
Right.
So I'm curious to see what they do with this.
Do you want to see a unification of the women's belt?
I do. I think we need to unify that, and we need to unify the tag titles.
I agree with that.
We don't need 2 of everything.
A little superfluous.
It is. The other thing that we're going to have to find out, and this, you just reminded me, Fox and NBC promoting the other product.
Okay.
Right? Because this is the first time that you're going to have Fox, you're going to have content on Fox that's also on another network.
Right.
And they're going to be cross-promoting the games.
Correct.
What games? The matches and the shows. I don't know how Fox would feel about telling you to tune in on Monday when they have programming already on Monday nights.
Right.
This is going to be very interesting. I'm curious how they do it with the NFL and if that's ever a problem. But I guess because it's the NFL, it doesn't really matter. When they say, like, turn into the Cleveland Browns game on CBS.
Right.
And you're on Fox. I don't know why I picked the Browns.
Because you like Cleveland Brown.
Yeah. Disney does not own Fox. Disney bought their assets for their film division.
Right.
But doesn't own their sports division or Fox Network. It's very different.
Oh, and also the Braun Strowman return at the end.
Ah, yeah, Braun. Yeah.
Yeah, who was left off at SummerSlam.
He was left off SummerSlam. So it's gonna. I think it's gonna be Seth and Braun, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Do you think Braun takes that title within the next year?
No, man. They cooled off. He got a bad rep as being lazy because he has a personal life. Which it's the most toxic. I was talking to somebody there that went there last week. Not last week. I'm sorry. A couple months ago. I don't know why I said last week. And he said, every time I leave, or when I left last time, I was really upset with myself that I left because I always wanted to work there as a kid. You know, that's like the thing. Like, listen, we all have that, right? I would love to work for WWE because in your mind, it's WWE. Yeah. But he goes, it's one of the worst places. The demand is high. You never get a pat on the back. It just okay. So next week we got to do this again. There's no gratification for anything that you do. It's just a machine. And he's like, I've been back for about a month, and yikes. I'm not talking about Eric Bischoff, by the way.
Yeah.
Somebody just messaged me. Are you talking about Bischoff?
You talking about that Bischoff?
No. I'm not talking about. But it's somebody that's gone back there and he's utterly miserable again. So we got to remember that.
Gender.
What do you want to talk about, Rich? Anything left?
Well, we got questions.
Okay, you read.
Okay.
I can't read.
I will read. Mike asks, "Who are the mystery partners for Jericho?"
Great question. I have no idea.
Edge and Christian.
Edge and Christian would be great, but they're WWE contracts.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
Are they do we have Legends deals?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay.
Maybe they don't now. Hold on.
Scott Hall. Kevin Nash.
Oh, I would love that.
The Outsiders.
I would love that. It's not going to be. It's. If I were to go with two guys,
Best friends.
Pac, CM Punk.
Ooh, I like that a lot. Actually, not X-Pac.
No,
I
Pac.
like.
Listen, Pac's free to do whatever he wants now, so he's
That
going
is
to be
true.
there. So imagine, just anticipate him playing a part in this. I don't know. I'm saying Pac and CM Punk. It could be a tag team, maybe the Revival.
That's good.
It could possibly be the Revival.
if that works. Hothead 576.
By the way, don't quote me. As
Yeah.
Rich said, don't quote me on this. I'm just throwing a name out there.
Yeah, exactly. Andrew, when does AEW come over to the West Coast this year? Question mark. Question mark.
Yes.
Question mark. Question mark.
Yes, 100%.
Mhm.
As soon as they hit Milwaukee on their, I don't know where the next. They're gonna do Milwaukee. Then they're gonna have to go. I'm wondering what West Coast cities they're gonna. They're gonna do LA. They'll do San Jose.
Probably like Pasadena, Southern California.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of venues. There's a lot of venues
Yeah.
in California, and that's a fun loop for them to do.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Canada's Canada. It's going to be Canada, so I don't
Mhm.
know if it's going to be Toronto or what. But Toronto's a place that they need to go to. New York is a place they need to go to. North Carolina, Florida again, Georgia. Give me another wrestling city. St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to hit Texas.
Did you say Chicago?
Chicago, obviously. LA, maybe Portland.
I want to see them wrestling like Idaho.
Well, that's a good question. That's what everybody keeps saying. They're like, okay,
Uh-huh.
so what's going to happen when you start hitting the Midwest? Like the real Midwest, not Chicago Midwest, but
Yeah.
the real Midwest.
Like Indiana.
Yeah. Well, how are you rating? How are you going to sell that in Cleveland?
Mhm.
I know Cleveland is off to the side, but you have that Midwestern territory that may not be familiar with AEW.
Des Moines.
Listen, this is another
Yeah.
thing, okay? This was a question brought up to me by somebody in TV, and I'm going to ask you this question,
Shoot.
okay? We, as New Yorkers, look
Sure.
at things a little bit differently.
Right.
Without getting political, what's going to happen when you start, doing TV or house show loop in somewhere in the Midwest, and you have Sonny Kiss there? What's their reaction going to be when those people, show up at those shows?
I think if you're buying an AEW ticket, you know what you're in for.
Sometimes you don't buy it. You don't know what you're in for.
Okay.
So
you think that people are gonna take
I don't know.
umbrage with?
I don't know. This was just something that was presented to me. And
Okay.
I was like, that's a great question. How are they going to react to that? Listen, I like to look at the world as the cup is half full.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a doom and gloom guy.
Right.
I think society's a little bit different. They're not going to throw batteries at him.
Right.
It's not going to happen. But I am curious how they're positioning that. That's fine.
Do you think
I like Sonny a lot. Good dude. Really good dude.
Yeah.
Um.
Do you think it's gonna be like the end of the Bruno movie
Oh my God.
with remember
Yeah.
that with Straight Dave?
Yeah. So just a question. If you want to go, pick up some more questions.
Would the wild card rule still exist after the Fox move? I would say no.
I would say the wild card move was a terrible idea, but the brand split with the ratings the way that they are is a terrible idea. So imagine SmackDown to be extremely heavy with people coming in and out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yesterday, this is from Pokey Ben. Yesterday, the XFL teased their team names and logos coming soon. Can you both guess what you would want for New York's team name to be?
Oh, I got the name.
Go ahead.
Dick Wobblers.
Ooh, the Dick Wobblers.
The New York Dick
The
Wobblers.
New York Dick Wobblers.
Yeah.
I'm with it. I'm cool with the Dick Wobblers.
I don't know. It's not going to be the Hitmen. I'll tell you that.
Ugh.
They're not going to go with the New York Hitmen.
Transferring Heat podcast. Will we get The Fiend versus Goldberg? No.
Nope. That's not. But Goldberg is wrestling again.
Yeah.
So, dude, just use him. This is exactly what I said.
Mhm.
Take him out. Use him for these quick matches. and it's fine.
Yeah.
Everybody's happy. Nobody ever wanted to watch Goldberg do a 10, 15-minute, 20-minute match. Nobody.
Make him the GM of Raw.
That's how he talks. That's how he does matches. You know what that was? He just says Seth Rollins is in a handicap match tonight.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
He just grunts.
Hold on, do it again. Let me do it again. AJ Styles and the OC versus Ricochet and
You need the translator?
Yeah, I'm the translator for him.
That's great. Ooh, Green Lives Matter says he's hoping for the Houston Flat Earthers.
The Houston Flat Earthers are a great one.
Very good.
Maybe they will call. You know what? Do you think they'll go with the Hitman name for New York? Because that's a cool name.
Yeah, I don't think so. I
They
think
hit you.
It's
Bret Hart.
The Eliminators.
They all come out like this.
Ugh. No thanks. Will we get another roster shuffle before the Fox deal kicks in? I think so. I think you're gonna get like a good switching around.
Dude, that first Fox show. Will it be SmackDown's 20th show, 20th anniversary show?
I don't know.
I think so. SmackDown. I'm just looking at a picture of Rodman and me.
So you're basically gonna get everybody.
Okay. SmackDown 20th anniversary will be October 4th. It's the first show on Fox. So, I'm telling you right now, Hogan's going to be there. Austin's going to be there. The Rock's going to be there. Undertaker's going to be there. Triple H is going to be there. Shawn is going to be there. This thing is going to be tremendous. Brock's going to be there. Who else do you think will be there?
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold.
Did you see him eat chicken wings the other day?
Yes, I did. I watched it last night.
How great was that?
I watched it last night. So here we go. So here's the list. Earlier today it was reported that Vince went back on a handshake agreement with Ziggler. I don't want to talk about that story. Here's a list of people for the SmackDown anniversary. Kurt Angle, Lita, Mick Foley, Booker T, Hulk Hogan, Trish Stratus, Bill Goldberg, Jerry the King Lawler, Mark Henry, Ric Flair, Sting.
Wow.
Most likely you're going to get The Undertaker, Steve Austin, and of course The Rock, because that's his show.
Right. It's still his show. He owns it.
Yeah.
Listen, it's gonna be. I think in the next few months, wrestling is gonna get nuts.
I think that first show is gonna have tremendous ratings.
Oh my god, forget about it.
Yeah. Maybe 5 million.
And I do think you're gonna get. I think that first SmackDown show is gonna be Kofi losing the title to Brock Lesnar.
Kofi losing the title to Brock. Maybe it'll be. They are planning a huge main event for that.
Okay.
So that could be it. I don't know. But I just want to say that show, I was first saying like, they'll probably do like 3.5, 4 million. I'm looking at more like 5 million people now.
Oh, yeah.
On that first Fox show. I think anticipate the promotion to get very heavy for that show in the coming weeks. October 4th is not that long, far away. Talking less than 50 days.
Yeah.
So, right here.
It's going to be fun.
Give us your questions also, guys. Will we get another shuffle for the Fox deal? If Jeff Hardy comes back, will he bring the Willow versus Bray? No. Fiend should have a match with Taker. I don't know when that would happen. Will we get an intergender match for the major title in WWE ever again? Remember China and Eddie? I don't think so. The only moment that they considered a real intergender match was with Ronda. They really were considering having her start, fighting the men. And I think that is the most realistic that you could see it happening.
Okay.
Now, it wouldn't be a guy like Braun Strowman or The Undertaker, but a guy like Hunter could do something with Ronda.
Okay.
And they did that already, but there was conversation that Ronda would have matches with some of these dudes.
Oh, boy.
205 Live guys, man.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
I'm okay with it, but at the same time, I feel like the concentration needs to be elsewhere.
But here's the thing, though. That's the reality. Do you think, listen, anybody punching anybody, if the guy argument is like, I could knock Ronda out. Yeah, anybody could knock anybody out. But the argument is, well, I have the skill set in the wrestling life. Do I have the skill set to beat this woman?
Right.
Because she is far better at fighting than me.
Who doesn't it hurt? I think that's the thing.
Who doesn't it hurt?
Yeah.
It definitely doesn't hurt Ronda.
Right. Well, obviously. But, let's say you have, Triple H is a guy of such clout that when he took her moves, it wasn't a bad thing for Triple H.
It wasn't a bad thing. No, because Hunter could, he's
Hunter.
Different. Yeah, he's Hunter.
Guys of that caliber, it's not going to hurt them, right? but you're not gonna get Ronda Rousey versus Roman Reigns.
Will Ronda return to the ring? Yes, that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Also, WWE really wants her back.
Oh yeah.
Because this whole women's division thing is stale. It's gone flat since Ronda left.
I
know a lot of people didn't like her, but
I agree. I think people it's at that point again, right?
Yeah.
That people are just like,
Are they looking to book the Fiend as a tweener? I don't know what they're planning on doing. I think he's just a spooky guy right now that's scaring the crap out of people.
Mm-hmm.
How will AEW ratings be at the beginning of 2020? Over under on 750. I'm going. That's a great guess.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see their first week, but I'm gonna say they will have under weeks.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
There is rumors of a Evolution pay-per-view part 2 also.
I heard it's not happening.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I just asked for it.
Just like
Nope. Nothing in the plans right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what's kind of fascinating too? Like I feel like WWE also skipped
But I could be wrong.
the Cruiserweight Classic this year.
They did skip it because they ruined that entire division.
Right? And also I think, or maybe I'm wrong, they didn't do the Mae Young Classic. Am I right about that?
I don't remember.
Okay.
My brain is turned off.
This is a couple of things
things
that like kind of went under the radar. I think this year they did do the Dusty Classic with the tag teams, right?
Yes, they did it. Yeah.
Okay.
But it didn't have the that it did previous years.
I do like the Return of the King of the Ring.
I do like the Return of the King of Ring. It's not a tournament. It's a series of matches.
Okay. Yeah.
Remember that.
But they did release a bracket.
They did release a bracket finally.
Yeah.
Vince hates brackets. He hates tournaments. So they have to refer to it as a series of matches. I did not hear the word tournament, the King of the Ring tournament, being used. They've only called it the King of the Ring.
Okay.
But it doesn't. Imagine. Here's the thing. Imagine, like, everybody understands what a tournament is, right?
Right.
Everybody understands it. Imagine, like, a 12-year-old has no concept of the King of the Ring. Like, or a new viewer. And they go, it's the King of the Ring. What does that mean?
Okay.
And then you say a series of matches.
Uh-huh.
What does that mean?
Right.
What is a series of matches? Aren't you having a series of matches every day?
All
it's
the
your
time.
job.
Yeah.
Your job is to have a series of matches. Why can't they just say, like, oh, it's a tournament. Here's a freaking bracket.
Ooh.
Considering how well tournaments do, NCAA, basketball, football, this is like a thing in sports, brackets. Amazing.
I enjoy it. I do think Nakamura should have been in it, and I think Nakamura.
It would have been great.
I just want to see him wear that crown again.
Oh my God, yes.
From what was it, Wrestle Kingdom 9?
Do we have the bracket right now?
Yeah.
I mean, let's do that.
We're gonna have to look that up.
Oh,
We do have a question though.
Okay.
Oh, that wasn't for us. That was a guy in the chat room asking another guy in the chat room a question.
WWE is using the term tournament on their website.
Okay.
So here we go. We have Cesaro, Samoa Joe.
Great.
Ricochet, Drew McIntyre.
Great.
Cedric, Sami Zayn.
Great. Cedric the Entertainer.
Cedric the Entertainer.
Great.
Miz and Baron Corbin on
Great.
one side. The other side, on the SmackDown side, you have Kevin Owens, Elias.
Great.
Ali, Buddy Murphy.
Great.
Chad Gable, Shelton Benjamin.
Fantastic.
Apollo Crews, Andrade.
Great.
So let's book this. I'm going to go Samoa Joe advances.
Go.
And it's going to be Samoa Joe and Ricochet with a DQ finish for Drew. Cedric, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn goes forward. The Miz goes forward. On that side. Now you got Samoa Joe and Ricochet. Ricochet beats Samoa Joe. Sami Zayn.
I do think Ricochet wins the whole thing.
Sami Zayn beats the Miz.
Yeah.
The finals for the SmackDown side are Ricochet and Sami Zayn, with Ricochet going over to the main side. Kevin Owens, Elias. Kevin Owens advances. Buddy Murphy, Ali. Buddy Murphy advances. Chad Gable, Shelton Benjamin. Benjamin advances. And you got Andrade, Apollo Crews. Andrade advances. Kevin Owens and Buddy Murphy. Kevin Owens beats him. Shelton loses to Andrade.
Okay.
Now you have Kevin Owens, Andrade. Andrade beats Kevin Owens, and the main King of the Ring is Ricochet and Andrade.
And I think Ricochet takes it.
Ricochet takes it.
Yeah. His self-fulfilling prophecy of calling himself King Ricochet.
King Ricochet. Yeah.
I wish they made the tournament a little bit bigger with more people, but
Andrade could do well too with it. He could also win.
Just calling him King Andrade.
Who would they give the King gimmick to?
King Ricochet works because he can come out with a little crown. I think he can rock a little crown. Montez should have been in it because Montez wears a little crown.
Wears the crown anyway.
And they apparently Montez.
King. Oh my God! Unless Baron Corbin wins it, and now he's not a Baron anymore. He's a King. He's King Corbin.
King
Corbin.
Corbin is a bit of a tongue twister, I think, to say on TV. Just that King Cesaro, does that work?
King Cesaro does not.
King Joe? King Joe sounds pretty great.
Yeah, he's like King Kamehameha from Hawaii.
Yeah.
You could do that. Okay. That doesn't. King Ricochet works. King McIntyre works.
King Alexander?
King Zayn, no. King
Alexander?
Miz, no. Okay, Kevin Owens. King Owens, no. King Elias, no. King Ali, no.
That works.
King Buddy Murphy, no. Andrade works.
Yeah. King Apollo.
King Apollo.
That's awesome. No Xavier, I think there's a lot of stuff.
They could have gone bigger with this bracket.
They could have gone a lot bigger.
Yeah. They could have gone bigger. But this is the bracket that they have for you. You could download and print it yourself at home.
Very cool.
WWE has made this available for everybody to print out. Very good job by them on this. I'm excited for the King of the Ring. And then the semifinals, I think it's going to be at the MSG show, which is doing terrible with ticket sales, by the way. Abysmal with ticket sales. Which crazy since they haven't been in this market for a while. All hail Rick O'Shea. I never told you this, Jay. Who's Jay?
There's another dude in the chat, right?
Oh, there's another dude. Okay. Everybody's talking. All right, are we done here?
I think we're okay.
Okay, we're okay.
I think
we're done.
good. I think
all
we're
right, guys. That's it for this week. A lot of fun with you. Tune in next week. Are we back Thursday next week?
Oh yeah.
All right, let's do Thursday next week.
Yeah, baby.
That's it. See you later. Take care.
Later.